Hey guys, welcome back. This was the sixth round of the Brazil Chess Series São Paulo 2025. I won the first game. He lost the second, third, and fourth game, and I somehow was able to win the fifth game. You guys can see how in the last video. And okay, so my opponent for this round was an unrated opponent, which meant he did not have any games in the database. And the games from this tournament, I think he was playing some other openings, so I didn't really prepare a lot. So I play d4, no, he plays d4, I play knight f6. Against knight f3, I just go e6, and he plays c4, and I was like, okay, let's see if he wants to play a Benoni. I play c5, and he can go into a Benoni, and I would have just played the Benoni. This is Benoni. And yeah, we would have gotten a game, but the other option here in this position is to ignore that the pawn is attacking, and sometimes you get like some sort of Sicilian positions with the Maroczy bind, and I was like, okay, this is an interesting position to get. I really want to win since I had lost the second, third, and fourth round. But yeah, so he plays g3. I take. That's the best move. He takes. And here I knew that the best move is d5. But against d5, I thought that he could just like take. And yeah, I saw this line in which he has to go back. But I thought it was an equal endgame pretty much. And that would be very hard to win. And yeah, I thought I was like, okay, how am I going to win this game, you know? So I was like, okay, let's not trade so far, just yet. Let's not trade just yet, and let's play a6, preventing anything from coming into the square. Since this square is pretty weak, and I don't want to immediately play d5, a6 is an interesting move. And we transpose into the English opening symmetrical anti-Benoni variation, apparently. Okay, so he plays bishop g2, I play knight c6. If he takes, I'm happy. I can take back towards the center, and I'm playing d5. Uh, in and it's yeah, I'm playing d5 and I'm supported, which means I'm not getting an isolated pawn. I'm either getting like a hanging pawn structure or like a really solid structure, you know. And yeah, so he plays knight c3. I play bishop b4, but that's one of the moves. I thought it was more active, and sometimes I am threatening to take and damage his structure. And some like let's say I'm able to get this move in, and he can't play this move. And yeah, sometimes it may be easier to play. I'm trying to get something, you know, to play for a win. So he castles, I just castle. And now he plays takes, and he can't immediately play queen c2 because I would have just taken his knight. So takes. Now he plays queen c2, and now I play d5. Now, when I play d5, I've had to consider that he can play like rook d1 and e4, but depending on the position, let's say he plays a3 first. But depending on the position, let's say I play d5 and now he plays rook d1. Depending on the position, if he rushes with e4, I can play e5, d4, and we would get a locked center structure. And yeah, that would be interesting as well. But he didn't. He didn't play rook d1. He first played a3, and now I had a choice between bishop d6 and bishop e7. I didn't feel like this made much sense because then he can take and play knight somewhere with tempo. So yeah, I drop all the way back. I thought this was better because sometimes I want this bishop not to be unguarded, so I can move the pawn. Maybe sometimes I want to capture, and I also want my knight to be protected if he plays bishop g5, so that I can move my queen. And yeah, computer is now saying it's all equal. Before I was saying bishop b6 is a bit better, but I like bishop e7. I think my choice is fine. So he plays rook b1. I thought this was an odd move. I felt like this wasn't a waste of a tempo. And I immediately thought of the correct move, which I'm happy because I did so, which is a5. If he's sort of preparing b4, e5, a4, a5 makes even more sense, but I'm also getting this diagonal from my bishop. So I play a5, and he plays rook d1 now. And now I had a choice. I I felt like I really wanted to get out of this diagonal. So I can either play one of these two. Computer likes bishop a6, but I got scared of immediately e4. Immediately e4 doesn't make sense, but let's say takes e4. Uh, yeah, but that makes sense because now I have the pin. Now that I freed up this square, I have the pin and I can just spin him. Let's say e takes, knight takes, and yeah, I'm sort of pinned. He is as well, and this is equal, but okay. So I decided to play queen here. My idea was that if he plays bishop e3, because when I played here, I saw that he could just play this with tempo, and I was not happy about that. And my idea was like, if he plays bishop e3, at the very least, his pawn is blocked. So yeah, he plays bishop e3, and here after I played here and I queen b6, and I was waiting for him to make this his move, I thought of this idea of like dancing with my queen because he plays bishop e3, I go back to b8, and now when he plays bishop f4, I don't repeat the position. I go here so that if he goes here, now I can offer an exchange. And I thought that this would be like fine for me. Let's say takes, and c takes, and I thought it was like fine for me, you know? And I guess it's a fine idea. He's still a bit better. Uh, and against, he plays bishop f4, I do my thing. And now he plays e4, which is a huge mistake. I did not see the reason. But apparently here I can play knight g4. And after knight g4, I'm keeping an eye on this pawn, and I'm also threatening to straight up just take the pawn. Because even though his queen is protecting, I always have the pin. And let's say like knight here is stupid, I guess, because then I'm going to lock the center, and I'm defending here, and I'll be able to play this afterwards. But yeah. No, yeah, I play e5 first, so he can play e5. Now he has to play bishop c1, because if here I just take, and if here he's blocking the contact. And now I can close the center, and I'm happy, you know? Yeah, that would have been a nice find. I did not find that. I saw that I could take, and that it would not be super easy for him to get his pawn back. I was going to try to hold on to the pawn and get some activity or something in return for the pawn. I did not mind giving it back up as long as I got something. So I play takes. He pushes. I did not think this was a good move, and it really is not because this gives me this square from my knight. So I go there, and I saw when I played this that he had this move, and bishop e4. And after this move, I was between obviously h6 and g6. I thought that g6, h6, he can just threaten a sack, but apparently that makes sense, yeah. Uh, so let's say queen c1. Yeah, I thought this was getting pretty scary with the sacrifice because this pawn is controlling here, and my pieces are far, and sometimes. Yeah, I thought this was scary, so I decided to just play g6. I saw that this created some weak dark squares around my king. But I was like, okay, yeah, I thought it was fine because my bishop is protecting and my queen can always help with the defense. So I played g6. After this, I considered going rook e8 so that if he goes back, he's not attacking here. But it makes more sense to just challenge the file. It's just what I played. And he plays h4, and I saw that. And here I thought that I really should be playing bishop f8. Because let's say I played bishop a5. He plays this, and I do some random move. I'm getting mated. I can't take. But if I play bishop f8, my queen is helping with the defense. And I'm also trying to trade one of his attackers. Now I thought that he really should be playing queen c1 because of this idea of going king up and bringing the rook over after h5. But he took, I took with the king. I did not really see much of a difference. Yeah, I just took with my king. He plays h5, and I was between king g7 immediately or bishop a5. I didn't feel like king g7 immediately made a lot of sense because I'm just going to give him a tempo. And I was like, okay, let's just play bishop a6. And here this move is not super accurate because this move is actually very bad because now I can, as I said, I can do the idea that I was trying to do before. I thought that he really should be playing like queen c1 because now I have to play. I will either play one of these two moves, and now this square is defended, and there's no fork. But when he plays king g2 immediately, I can attack this pawn, and he can't defend it. Let's say f4, I just fork him. I'm completely then I'm up a queen. But yeah, and he can and he can take it for the bishop. And had he done that, I would have played ed. If I'm being honest, apparently cd is better, but I was no, it was in a different position. I think that I got scared of the blockade. But yeah, and if knight takes, I take with tempo and I take the pawn, and I'm much better, you know. So he decided to, when he saw all of that, he decided to sacrifice the pawn. And now I'm much better because my queen from here is always controlling the square. And yeah, so I take the pawn. He takes, I take with the h point, obviously. And I thought that he would be going, say, rook h3 and rook here. I thought that was what was going to happen. But he decided on this. And my idea was to run. My idea was to run. When I played this move, I saw that he could play rook h7, but then I saw that I can always drop my knight back. And if he takes, I take with tempo, yeah. So I play king e7. Had I played this move and he king g7 and he protects, I will just offer a bunch of exchanges and I'm up 2 pawns, you know. This pawn may fall, yeah, but as I said, not with some concession. And now I'm also putting pressure here. But what I did is fine as well, I guess. King e7 doesn't lose a lot of the advantage. And he made another mistake, which is knight back. Because now I play rook ab8, just keeping an eye on this pawn and preventing him from moving completely. And now he plays rook h7, which is the idea that I had gotten. I was a bit scared before because it's a fork. You know, he's no, I'm sorry. He's threatening to take this pawn, and I can't defend this pawn twice because the queen is also attacking. But what I can do is I can fork these two pieces, and after he goes rook h4, which I saw, I thought that he had to take and then sack the exchange, because after rook h4, I saw that I had f5, no g5 displacing, and now the rook can stay defending. He can try to to danger level me, but then the pawn is blocking the defense, so I just take, and he resigned. So yeah, this was a nicer win, I believe. I was quite happy about this game. I felt like I made good choices overall to try to fight for an advantage, since the start of the tournament was rough. But yeah, so this was it. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.